No.
No? Did you say no?
No, I said yo.
Oh, you said yo. I was like, yes. I thought you were like, no. What's up, everybody? Welcome. This is the Phantom Pain. Yeah, we're
sound stuff here for 1 sec before we go, but
yeah, do your thing, bro.
see, so we need that. Okay, now they can hear that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, LFQ. LFQ says both beautiful faces on cam again. See? I keep telling Tony that there are Tony fans in the chat and they need more Tony. But I think you might be talking about me because I've been, having some fiber pain. The fiber pain was my internet. My ISP has been experiencing problems. Hopefully we're good. Dude came out yesterday, and I think it's been up since then, and we did find a problem, which is good. Because previously no one was finding a problem. Yeah, I need more fiber. Preferably full duplex gig fiber. Cool. You getting in there? Right, yep, we're getting in there. Okay, so this was made with Fox Engine, which is a Konami engine that Kojima helped develop. With like
I think it was entirely made for making these games.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
And then with Death Stranding, he built a new engine, right?
It's called the Decima engine, and it's based on the.
Just nod.
I think it's based on CryEngine.
Oh, okay.
So the story. I told the story on stream one time, but what happened is Kojima went around to all of the studios that make game engines and asked them if he should use theirs and what their pitch was. And there was one company that gave him the source code of their engine on a USB drive and said, "We want to work with you so badly, we will literally hand you the source code of our entire project just to, make you believe in us." And that's who we went with. So I can't remember if that was CryEngine or maybe the Frostbite engine. I think it was between those two. But
sorry, Strava, you get Viper and Wallfacer, no Donkey.
I was telling Vince that we need to play Metal Gear Survive, which is a very classic Donkey video.
I don't know anything about it, but apparently it's bad.
How do you feel now? Can you speak?
Man, Kojima's so good.
What is your name?
It's gonna be hard for me to not glaze Kojima this whole time.
Can you recall?
This game's 10 years old, and I would say it still looks more competent than a lot of more modern games.
That's what people on the internet say.
There's also stupid stuff like the mouse interacts with the buttons on the menu and stuff instead of being a mouse. But
yeah, I mean, that's because it was a PlayStation exclusive. And then they put it on PC. I think I played it on PC. I didn't play it on PlayStation. Actually, I don't even fucking know. I'm going to go look.
We're going to make our birthday. What is today? Let's just make today our birthday, the 28th.
Nope, I definitely played it on Steam first time in 2016. That's when I played it. Also, Artificial Sky and Strava, I know you guys are Warhammer fans. There's a Warhammer typing game that's free on Steam.
There is plenty of
what was it called, Tony?
Bolt gun.
I need to tell you
something. I can't remember.
Yeah, hold on. I'll go look.
And try not to panic.
I'll find it for you guys.
You've been in a coma for quite some time. Yes, I know. You would like to know how long.
Free to play Warhammer 40k bolt gun Words of Vengeance. That's the one. Yes, sir. You got it, Strava. It came out last week, like 7 days ago. Free to play up on Steam. Looks pretty cool.
Try not to panic. Try not to panic.
Bro, what this nurse doing to you?
You'll be all right. Just rest.
Yeah, no Norman Reedus in this one, Artificial Sky.
How do you feel?
It's been 1 week since you came to. Now, let's try getting you out of that.
Yeah, you might be able to move now, Tony.
Nurse,
Oh, soon.
Yeah, nothing yet, but soon.
don't worry. You've lost some strength, but we've been maintaining your muscle mass through massages.
Okay.
CPM
I gotta say, I think this was a weird choice. It's definitely a choice.
Now, I
And
need to explain
Kojima's
something,
trying to
but you must
build
be allowed.
a story and experience for the player. I don't know how I feel about
9 years ago, you
like
were
really
injured
taking away all your control and
in an
shit.
explosion.
You can skip if you want, Tony.
Upon examination,
He's basically like, hey, you're full of fucking holes, man. And you got the cancer or something like that, right? You're not good, is what he's trying to say. You're old and you're beat the fuck up, barely hanging on. And Snake is like, fuck that. I'm getting out of this bed.
it's true. There are those who wish you would.
Anna, welcome back. Oh, you're back on Twitch. That's
You should be
great.
dead.
were you sad
you're
over there in YouTube land
Wheels are in
yesterday?
motion. Your enemies are everywhere. We must alter your
I was trying to give you company.
I forgot it. This is for like the online part, right?
Yeah, what is this? I don't even know. Why is there an avatar?
I
don't
think
think
it's
this matters.
for the Metal Gear Online part. Yeah. I'm just gonna go with this guy. Kind of looks like a Reacher.
Nice. Blonde Reacher.
Yep.
Adder, what's up? I hate being locked out of controls for any cinematic experience that lasts longer than a minute, and they better be very rare. That's exactly what I was just talking about.
Very
it's
good. Now,
it's
let's
tough,
remove these
'cause, like,
bandages.
I support Kojima's decision to make this. But at the same time, as a player, I'm like, bro, why are you making me do this? Brightside! What's up, brother? Dude, I fell asleep last night to your voice being warped through whatever the fuck Honeycomb was doing. Just playing in my head going, I pooped my pants. Just over and over again. That was fucking wild, dude. What's up, Boom?
Can you keep up?
Welcome, gamer.
Oh, the gang's all here. You'll love to see it.
I was hanging out with Brightside in his stream last night, and he got a Discord call from one of his community members, so he accepted it. There's no voice. He starts talking. He's like, hello, what's up, man? And the person was capturing his voice and putting it into a bunch of music shit and responding with, like, music. It was fucking hilarious. 2-hour improv session? Dude, you guys are wild. That was so fun. So yeah, Adder, I'm with you on that, because, like, okay, I would say it's okay in this game. I didn't like when we did it in the beginning of D2, when you lose your light and you have to, like...
You have to walk 3 miles per hour for a long time. That was awful.
In a game when you're, like, a fucking space god, it's doesn't make sense. In a game like this where you're a guy, you're just a guy, it makes a lot more sense.
I mean, this is the equivalent right here. I've just been holding down the W key for this entire thing.
Lefkey, very worth watching the VOD. If he has the VOD of that shit was so funny. Because he, like, didn't know what to expect. And then the dude that called him, like, just started fucking with his voice and, like, playing it back to him. And then Brightside was playing a web browser, like, playing different sound effects and shit to, like, go along with the beat. It was great. Speed locks also drive me up a wall. I'd rather go watch a movie. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I do think it's very, like, cinema, you know? And that's what Kojima's good at. So if you see this, like, this is different. These are all, like, scripted moments, you know, like he knocked the box over, he was leaning up against the bench. None of that was in the D2 version of this. And that's what I didn't get. I was like, why are we doing this? Ugh.
But I mean, even in the D2, like, I don't know, you had something to do. Like, I very legitimately have been holding down the W key with my left hand for the last 3 minutes. And
Yeah, you guys, I'm not trying to defend it. I did not enjoy this. When I was playing this, I was like pissed off and irritated that it was happening because I didn't know anything about this game. I wanted to just play the game. And instead we get like this dude with a burning straitjacket in the elevator floating through the ceiling, lit the fucking hospital. I'm like, what the fuck is this, bro? What is happening? And this is not what the game is like at all. It's like, I don't know, it's strange. But I think if anyone can get away with this, it's Kojima. I think he pushed it a little too far in this game.
Yeah, you should probably explain to them why we're playing this game that's 10 years old.
I mean, because I guess we decided to play it because you haven't really played a whole lot of it, and you don't remember it that much. And I really loved this game. This was my first, well, this is my second Metal Gear game. The first one was Revengeance. I did play Sons of Liberty or whatever the fuck it's called. Is it Sons of Liberty? Patriots? Sons of the Patriots?
4?
Yeah, I played a little bit of that and I didn't get it. Also, this guy's butt cracked.
Sons of Liberty is 2, and Patriots is 4, I think.
Yeah, Patriots is what I was thinking.
Yeah,
but
I played some of 2 and maybe a little bit of 4 as well. And I've played like a little bit of this game, but more so than those other 2.
Yeah, Adder, I think it's a tough decision. Personally, because I love playing games and I'm not trying to make movies, I wouldn't do this. I just don't see a lot about it.
Okay, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that.
Don't you die on me, Ahab.
Oh, bright side. We got a game for you since you were playing Mario Teaches Typing yesterday. Check that shit out. Free to play. Free to play Warhammer 40K typing game.
There's also one called Glyphica that I've played before that is actually kind of good. It's like a roguelite.
Exactly, Striva. Snake? Snake! Snake! This is not a new game, Brightside. I played this in 2016. I think it came out in
2015.
PC in 2015, or was it PlayStation in 2015?
Steam said 2015, so that might not be the original release. That might just be the PC release.
Oh, okay. What do you mean Kojima's works are hard to understand? I didn't mean that. I meant the design decision to do all this, like, taking control away from the player, making you crawl around and shit for the sake of cinema. It's a little weird. Okay, it's a lot of weird.
Help me. I don't want to die.
Typing games could be a big genre in 2026. I'm feeling it. Yeah, dude. Anna says, me and my sister bought our PS3 with a copy of Phantom Pain. Hell yeah. Did you play through it, Anna? It really grew on me. The first little bit wasn't making a lot of sense to me, but I fucking loved it. It started like all clicking and it started making sense and I was really enjoying it. Tony's crawling backwards over this thing.
I don't know why he's crawling backwards. I guess we're going backwards.
You have to like move your camera towards his head.
Into the spot, you know, so that we can...
Alright, that's cool, man. You do have some agency as a player. There you go.
Press the stance button to stand up.
I will... Okay, hold on. I'm going to argue for this.
Don't get caught.
It's teaching you how to crawl and be stealthy, which is a very critical mechanic in this game. You want to be stealthy all the time. Tony wants you to get in cover. There you go. There's a bit of front-loaded tension. And it says no, she played it and you watched a bit. Is this just not the kind of game that you get into? September 1st, 2015. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, dude, he got smoked. COD Advanced Warfare came out around the same time and looked and played significantly better. Yeah, I could see that. But also a very different kind of game. Yeah, there is pretense.
Come on.
I only like the MGS games because of 5, but the first one I played was Revengeance, which is not an MGS game.
This way.
Weird to think about. Revengeance is a very good game too, by the way. Fucking love that game. It's amazing. Oh, I see what you mean, Adder. Yeah, totally. Similar style action narrative pacing. Yeah, I can agree.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to go down there.
Don't you die on me. Ahab.
Yeah, you gotta be sneaky, bro. Don't let him see you.
I just want to go to Afghanistan, okay?
True. Some folks are born silver spoon in hand.
Hang out with fucking D-Horse.
Yes, the D horse,
My
bro,
guy.
and the D dog.
Is it D-Dog too?
Is it Diamond Dog?
Oh, it probably is. That's probably
Bro,
why
wait a
it's-
minute.
Yeah.
Did Ted Lasso rip off Metal Gear 5?
I have asked you that question many times in the past. It's like, why is it Diamond Dogs in Ted Lasso when that's what it is in Metal Gear?
Is Sudeikis like a tacit Kojima fan? What the fuck, bro? I gotta know. Exactly, Adder. Exactly. Too young to die in the sandbox, too old to die in the sandbox, just in time to die in the sandbox.
Don't you die on me. Ahab. Ahab. Ahab.
Okay, Tony. You'll get it.
No, I got it. I gotta.
Come on.
Probably just follow this guy a little more.
Yeah, and I think 2015 was kind of like my gaming renaissance, where I stopped being exclusively competitive multiplayer gaming type of a player, and I started like really branching out and playing like all kinds of different things. So for me, like a stealth combat game was a pretty big like step in a new direction. I think before this I played Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory, and that was like the closest I was with stealth games, and I really liked those, but I don't know, I was more into being like fast-paced action shooter player type of guy.
What's happening
Diamond
out
Dog
there?
David Bowie? It could be. Yeah, it could just be Bowie all the way down. It usually is, right? The intro song to this, which we could not play, was David Bowie. The man who sold the world.
What is that? What's happening out there? Does anybody know? You hear them coming?
Oh my god, why are we zooming in on the guy's
Very
ass?
good song. Dude, that's Kojima, man. You see the button. Get low, Tony.
Get out!
I don't know, man.
Please, please.
Nice. Bandageman saved you. Yeah, I'm a pretty big Bowie fan myself, too. It was my goth days. It was like required material for being a goth. Diamond Dogs was 74. Ted Lasso references Bowie at least once. Yeah, okay, so that's what it is. It's Bowie all the way down.
And so it's
Valid.
Kojima referencing Bowie.
Yes.
And then opening the game with the Bowie song. Got it.
Yep.
Makes sense. Okay.
Man, R.I.P. King. Bowie's fucking sick. Weird ass music, but special, you know? He did his own thing. I think my favorite Bowie song is probably Power of the Babe. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Does it remind me of the Babe or Power of the Babe? I don't. What's that fucking Labyrinth song? Magic dance, that's it. Dance, magic dance.
Why is this guy not moving? Come on, bro, you're gonna get shot.
This man blind as fuck. Yeah, true. Anna says, I was always a single-player gamer. Played a lot of sim games in the 90s. 2000s were RPGs. There's some exceptions like COD, Spec Ops, and Doom.
Oh, Anna, did you hear that the BioWare executive called you a nerd in a cave because you like Dragon Age? I don't know. I saw that headline.
Oh,
Something
shit,
about, like,
bro.
Dragon Age fans are just nerds in a cave who will buy the game even if it's bad. Something like that.
Shame.
Oh.
Yeah, Anna, I think in the 90s I was playing a lot of JRPGs. That was like my thing. So I kind of went like opposite. I went from JRPGs to like action games and WoW. And then like back to single player stuff more recently in the last like 10, 15 years. I guess for me that's recently. For some of y'all that's fucking not even feasible. Because you haven't been alive that long.
Anything?
I guess not in our chat. You guys are all old people too, like us.
Came in here. Keep
Hell
looking.
yeah, old gang. Spec Ops was such a sleeper of a game when it dropped. Low-key one of the best narrative experiences of the era. I don't think I even fucking remember Spec Ops, like, for real. Life on Mars and Space
What do
Oddity?
you want me to do here? Some nice curtain flipping action.
Hardest part of this sequence, Tony, was not understanding for me that you can't fight anything. You need to just sneak.
I'm really appreciating like the animation and the IK and stuff that it just everything looks really solid, and obviously that
Don't
carries
you
through
die on
to
me.
like Death Stranding and stuff. But
Ahab!
they kind of been leading the way on a lot of that stuff for a long time. I know.
This way.
Oh shit, everybody loves Spec Ops. Why the fuck do I not remember Spec Ops, guys?
I don't know if I ever played it either. I think Josh has a playthrough of it on his YouTube channel. I'm pretty
He
sure.
does, yes!
So yeah, if you guys want to see a playthrough of Spec Ops: The Line, go check out the Anime Figurines YouTube channel.
We're setting ducks. Blend in with the
Why did I
bodies.
not play
Get
this?
down
Oh, I
and
was like
come
too
to
deep in
crawl.
WoW, Halo, and Gears at the time. That's
So
why.
it's like a 2004 type game. Something like that.
Tax shooter.
If you move, we're done for. Play dead.
1998 was the first one. Rangers lead the way. Last one was 2012.
Put your head down.
Don't mind us. We're just dead bodies. What the fuck are you talking about, Artificial Sky? The Fear's birthday falls in the astrological month of Mars, thus making him a spider from Mars? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, that's a good point, Adder. Adder, you're talking about Dragon Age?
Why is that guy got an RPG out? That guy's got a grenade launcher. This guy's pissing himself.
Oh, MGS Boss, yeah. I got you.
Sorry.
Is that like a video essay, Anna? Exactly, LFQ. Solid. Snake. Spec Ops player character starts out as Delta Force, then mentally spirals as he's put through some crazy shit. Interesting. Oh, post-mortem video. Okay. Kojima makes a lot of Bowie references. Yes, he definitely does.
Take this!
I don't think you could shoot an RPG that close. I think you'd get really fucked up.
Yep. Especially like the blast cone from the rear of the RPG.
And you're in like a hallway, like the pressure wave itself would just destroy you.
You'd blow windows out for sure. You wouldn't be able to hear for a little bit. Yeah, exactly, Adder. The thing that I would worry the most about was everyone behind the guy shooting the RPG.
Damn it! Coming! Move!
Yeah, it does. I've seen a few of those. Not to mention like friends and family who were, you know, using those in theater, telling me stories about things. I mean, also like this fireman would be doing a lot of damage. I think you're buddies though, Tony. He doesn't really want to hurt you.
Sorry, what?
The flame guy is like your homie. Human Torch?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Hold on. We better stop and treat that injury.
Just relocate your knee? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I did not remember that there's like people with superpowers in this game, because I really don't know much about the story, but I was just remembering it was about like looking for terrorist weapons in Afghanistan or something, so I forgot about that aspect of it. I like how they make you think
I know
the guy
Artificial
is scared and pissed himself, and then it shows you that it was just like a saline bag, so that you're like, oh no, he's still hard. He's good.
Yeah, LFQ, I'm pretty sure the guy with the bandages on his head is actually Mr. Fantastic, and he's gonna get real stretchy soon. Fire guy was clearly Midra. MGS and Elden Ring crossover confirmed. Yeah, actually. Hold leg in place with the other leg, then roll over real quick. Does a great job popping your knee back in place. Adder actually knows the method to put the knee back. Did you...
Other leg than roll? Interesting. Okay.
Adder, do you know this from like jujitsu or something? I was talking to Brightside yesterday in his chat about jujitsu. Apparently he likes jujitsu.
Unnecessarily spin the gun around and flag both you and your friend.
Hockey. Yeah, that'll do it. Hockey destroys knees. MMA, jujitsu, Brightside?
Know how to shoot a gun? Hold down the aim button.
Adder was describing the method to relocate a dislocated knee on your own. And I was saying, you know, I was asking if he knew that from jiu-jitsu. He said no, from hockey.
Hold up. I'll take the right. You take the left.
Tony, for what it's worth, I don't think you ever need to ADS in this game.
Nice work. Let's go.
Other bro is Rorschach? Yes. Adder, do you like Watchmen? Either the graphic novel or the film adaptation? Yes, dude. Thank you. Thank you. A fellow.
Is the
Watchmen
HBO
fan.
show good?
It's different. Yo, what's up, Anime? Thank you for the resub, brother.
Yo, we were just hyping up your Spec Ops The Line video like 5 minutes ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's the HBO show's not really the same thing. Yes, MGS5. Yeah, what's the Rorschach line when he's talking to the comedian?
I'll run interference.
I'm looking for it. The accumulated filth of all their blah and blah, things I probably can't say on Twitch and YouTube, will foam up about their waists and all the things and other stuff, which I can't say on Twitch and YouTube. We'll look up and shout, "Save us," and I'll look down and whisper, "No." Amazing. I love it. Let's talk about the corruption in the city and how he hates it. Yeah, I feel the same way, Anime. Dude, it was so good. I mean, it's all the Neil Gaiman writing from the graphic novel. It's like line for line the same shit. Nice, Tony. Yeah, we were talking about it big time, Anime. Because, like, crawling around with no control fucking sucks, but it also did a lot to build the tension and whatnot. Yeah. I think the people who hate on the movie, Adder, are people who are unfamiliar with the material. So, like, I appreciated the ending in the movie over the ending in the graphic novel, because the ending in the graphic novel is definitely dated. Like, I was like, really? They're like,
I went and saw it in the theater. I knew nothing about Watchmen, and for most of it, I was like, I have no fucking idea what's going on, and I'm kind of bored. But I feel like I can like appreciate it more now. But it was difficult at the time.
it's deep and full of meaning. It's a real, what do you call it, Omni? Brain job? Mind job? Whatever the fuck weird turn of phrase you use for that. It's a real mind job. Speaking of movies, ideas on what the story will be for Elden Ring. Dude, okay. I like Elden Ring. I like Alex Garland. I'm very concerned. That's all I can say. I'm very concerned.
Yeah, it might do some tarnishing to both of those things, no pun intended.
Yo, good pun, Tony. I feel like if they go the route of Monster Hunter, we're in trouble. If Garland stays really faithful to it, it could be really good. But I don't think Garland stays super faithful to things. He always puts his own, like, artistic twist on it, so I don't know.
I feel like they gotta do, like, Radagon. I feel like that would make a compelling story, but I don't know if they'll lean into, like, existing lore or try to just do some, like, side shit. Because I could see them just doing some side shit.
Adder, that's a really good take. Movie publisher suits don't know how to handle the vibe of a JRPG. Yes. Yup. If you guys haven't seen the Monster Hunter movie with Milla Jovovich, holy shit. And with T.I., it's bad. It's really, really bad. And it has Tony Jaa in it, too, and, like, it had so many good things, and I was like, yes! And then the writing was for, like, fucking 8-year-old children. It was just so brain dead. It's so disrespectful to the audience. I don't know if Borderlands is worst game movie. Let's see. Worst video game movie adaptation.
Oh man, I can think of so many. Like the old Doom movie is really bad, or
The one with The Rock?
yeah.
Yes, dude.
Oh fuck! What else? I feel like the OG Mario movie has come around to like actually being good.
It's not good. It's not good. It's good now, but at the
Yeah.
time it was fucking awful.
Yep. God, what? Tomb Raider was okay. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about Tomb Raider before, and he said he didn't like it. But...
Tomb Raider was okay. I will concede that. Tomb Raider was okay. Tron was sick. Yes, dude. Tron was sick. One game that would make sense in the movie, they changed it to a time loop thing with Until Dawn. I don't think I remember Until Dawn.
Get in!
I think Tron is okay. Everybody acts like it's like one of the best movies made in the last 2 decades. I don't even think it comes close. But
Sparkle, yes, Rampage. I forgot about that. We both enjoyed Rampage. It was great. Jack Black is tarnished and he yells chicken jockey. Imagine.
Estus Flask.
Yeah. Exactly.
Use this! Watch our backs! Shoot it!
Bonfire!
Watch for an opening!
Oh, thank you for the prime, Sparkle. It's the best video game movie of all time, but far from the best from the last couple of decades. The Tron one, yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh, I remember that anime. Make sure you remind her, too.
Careful, that gun's so
Artificial Sky, first line, whoa, I'm all tarnished, but I've got grace, guitar solo.
Like someday maybe I won't be made of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn this down. Yeah, see, the mouse doesn't do anything here. If I click, it just is gonna go back to the checkpoint. Custom soundtrack volume. That's a weird way to say it.
Well, I think you can play your own songs if you want. There's like something you can do in there.
Sorry, what?
I think that's why you can do custom soundtrack volume, because you can like play your own music. I remember the music being like a pretty
for custom tracks. You're right.
Yeah, I think you could like do very interesting things like upload songs or whatever.
There's just no like volume setting for the entire game, I guess. Oh, interesting.
And it's okay. Anime is like one of our sons, so it's all right. Yes. So I didn't watch season 2, but Last of Us is. I liked the first Last of Us game. I like the second one less, but it's still a good game. The show, I'm not really fucking. I thought it was really weird. I think fucking what's his name has gotten a little too big for his britches.
You get him?
What's the fucking dude's name? Who's the guy?
We shook him off.
Oh, who's the guy?
What guy?
The Last of Us guy, the director. Oh, it was almost there. Druckmann. That's it. I think Neil Druckmann's a little too big for his britches. He's trying to become Kojima. He cares more about being like a celebrity and like a star than anything else. Alright, I'm gonna be real. I'm not really fucking with Pedro Pascal as Joel. I thought it was weird.
I always felt that way. They could have gotten a better actor.
Oh, Omni says the game volume's a little too loud. So maybe drop like 8%.
I mean, I agree with you. There's just not there.
I'll allow that, Artificial Sky. Yeah, so Omni, that's the thing with The Last of Us. The whole game and the whole universe is very, very dark. That's the point. The name of the game being The Last of Us is it's talking about the last of humanity in like our souls or our hearts, if that makes sense, you know? It's like a metaphor for the last good people alive, right? Because when everything falls apart, who do you have but those closest to you? That's the whole point of the fucking series. Yeah, so that was the second game, Omni. The entire theme of the second game was revenge and how it destroys you and everything around you, and you're left hollow if you seek revenge. Oh shit, Anna with the spicy take. He sure is about Druckmann. I'm assuming you agree with Artificial Sky there. I like this. I like the new arc of Anna and Artificial Sky becoming like homies on the same team.
I think it's interesting how people seem to not like the second season of The Last of Us as much, and the second Last of Us game was kind of the same way. Like, it seems like for the most part, people really like the first season of the show, and it's the same with the game. Like, even people who like the first game, some of them don't really like the second game as much. And I would say, like, in general, people who aren't really into The Last of Us really don't like the second game. And I'm just kind of seeing like a similar discourse with the show now.
Yes. Okay, I think Brightside nailed a take that I was like trying to articulate. Where was it? Pedro gives me weird vibes, man. Low-key feel like he's a creep. Yes. There's something off. Like, his public persona is not who he really is. And I think Adder was agreeing, but then he puts a bunch of efforts into like good charities and supporting his family. It's really tricky. I think he's very carefully towing the line of like acceptable, you know, public politics and stuff. I don't know the guy. He could be really cool.
Mandalorian, and I liked him in Game of Thrones. But
yeah, I think he's a fine actor.
All of a sudden, after those two things, now he is like the go-to guy for everything. And every single time they put him in something, I'm like, that's a weird choice for that role. Like, I understand he's a good actor, but he is not Joel from The Last of Us. He is not Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. There's probably some other good ones, but those are the two that immediately come to mind. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like he's the opposite of typecast. Like, he's a Hollywood darling, but he should be typecast because he doesn't have a lot of range.
Yeah, he's like the opposite of typecast.
Yeah.
They're just like throw him at everything. And it's like, you know, put him in stuff that he would be good in.
Whereas like Keanu was typecast, but then started to get he doesn't really have any range, but you know what I mean? Like, he started to branch out a little bit and get different roles because everyone loves Keanu and just doesn't care.
And he'll take whatever he's doing extremely seriously and do a really good job. So
yeah.
Okay, I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Oh, I did too, Brightside, where the unbearable weight of fuck, what is it, man? Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That's it. That movie was really good. I fucking loved that movie, man. It was so good. It's like where Nicolas Cage plays himself as Nicolas Cage in an alternate universe. It's really funny. Yes, Pedro nailed that role. That's where I see Pedro. I think he's like that's true to who he is as an artist. And I think it's weird when he gets cast as like Joel, because Joel is not that guy. You know, he's not like quirky and charming. Like, Joel has like negative aura, you know, and that's on purpose. He needs to. Joel's not a good guy. So I think it's important to remember that Joel's not a good guy, but he's also human and he's selfish and he's doing the things that we all would do in that situation, right? Really terrible stuff to preserve his tiny little world that he feels attached to. And that's the point. It's all human. Mushroom Scene had you dying. Yeah, me too, man. If it's Cranston as Professor X, I hope he has a meth lab. What? What are you talking about, Omni? Walking a fine line of feminine energy and otherwise manly man sort of vibe. Kind of funny, kind of quirky, not stoic, stone-faced Joel. Exactly. I just don't buy that as Pedro. Or Pedro as that. Breaking Bad plus X-Men. Did someone say something about Breaking Bad and X-Men? I'm with Brightside on that. Pedro has severe social anxiety, so he became an actor. Yeah, right? What do you mean?
All right.
Oh, Cranston may play Professor X in an X-Men reboot. I don't know, man. I guess we do. If they're doing more X-Men, we need a new Professor X because Patrick Stewart is way too old. Yeah, same. Exactly the same. I have the same feeling, Anna. I like him as an artist, but I don't enjoy that he's in everything. Too much exposure. Yeah.
They clearly had to like tool all of Cyberpunk once he got involved to be kind of centered around him, and you can tell it's a little like shoved in after the fact.
Yeah.
Not that good, to be honest. So
I liked, so Anna, I can totally agree with you and Tony on that, but personally I liked it. It didn't fit very well, but I loved Johnny Silverhand as a character. I thought he was so fucking cool. Like, he was just classic cool-ass Keanu. Like, that's what I loved.
He's a better character in Cyberpunk than your own fucking character.
Yes!
Who is the most annoying character in Cyberpunk. Absolutely no question.
Okay, so I'll throw this out there. I think maybe that's the reaction you guys are having. You're like, this guy's way cooler than me. Why the fuck am I a dork, but he's like the coolest motherfucker on the planet?
Well,
and
he's kind of like annoyingly nihilistic to the point that it's like,
yeah,
being stupid. Like, I will say that, but just like when you want to contrast him against V is really annoying, so it makes Keanu look okay.
Take a look through your binoculars.
Really like certain scenes with Keanu as Johnny, but I wish he wasn't just Keanu. Yeah, well, I mean, that's his typecast thing. Keanu's always Keanu, right? I don't like that he's in your mind. Maybe if it's a DLC with his story, I would enjoy more. Yeah, actually, no, I kind of agree with that, Anna. Like, if he was like a supporting character and you got to do a bunch of cool shit, like, I didn't do the Idris Elba stuff, Tony.
I was gonna say, like, Idris was good. Idris didn't have the same problems. It was really well done. And yep.
In both of their defense or offense, Idris has way more range than Keanu. Like, dramatically more range.
And he's playing kind of an Idris type thing where he's like a fucking beast ass enforcer for like a gang, and you know, he comes in with this crazy ass trench coat on and shit. It's cool.
You're supposed to mark things, Tony, so I think you need to mark that sniper.
Let's see this.
There was like a lens flare on the roof of that building. There you go.
I give him 3 days tops.
I got the Discord stream up too if you want more real time.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Our chance of revenge. But we need more intel.
To be fair, no one wants Keanu to play any other role either. Yeah, I agree.
Both your lives at risk.
Kevin Spacey in COD was just Kevin Spacey. Adder vomits.
Not just the one you saw.
They had Kevin Spacey and Jon Snow in that game, didn't they?
I expect you'll become quite familiar.
Oh, did they? Was Kit in there? Oh, Tony, you're echoing a little bit.
How and where you make it. Well, that's up to you.
Jon Snow was the next game. Okay.
You're on your own.
And I don't think they put celebrities in COD anymore, do they? I just kind of like did that for a little bit and then stopped.
Anime, you triggered Adder. He had to light all that dude's close-ups and got whack feedback from him and his agent. You made him look bad.
Those 9 years behind you.
Oh man, you had to stare at like Kevin Spacey's creepy 3D model face probably for way too long.
Is Gary Oldman still in COD? I don't think so.
Stay sharp.
Is Gary Oldman still alive?
Who was Gary Oldman in COD?
They were good.
Gary Oldman's still alive, yeah? Yeah, he's in Slow Horses now. That's what he's in. My bad, Gary Oldman.
Like Nicki Minaj in COD now, but they're not in the campaigns.
Yeah, my bad, Gary Oldman. I love you, bro. You're one of my favorite actors. Please don't die. Reznov in World at War. I didn't play World at War in the Blap series. Okay.
They got a Mr. Beast in Love, Death, and Robots.
That's weird as shit.
It's really jarring too because you're just watching it and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, kind of looks like him, and then you're like, oh, it actually sounds like him. No, he looked it up, 100% is him.
Bright side, mine is Fifth Element.
Marker placed.
I don't know. It's hard to pick. I don't know that I could pick my favorite Oldman movie because there's probably like 7 you could name, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I love that one too.
He's
I love
such
that one.
a crazy actor that, yeah, there's so many things that, I don't know. I always thought he was good as Commissioner Gordon.
Anime, I will actually credit you with the social circles you keep and say that it's not a government psyop. You just don't hang out with those caliber of people. Omni never understood the Fifth Element following. Bro, I guess you just had to be there. I mean, I was the right age, man. I was like a teenager when that shit came out. It was fucking amazing.
It's got Bruce Willis in it.
I love Bruce Willis too.
Yeah.
And Chris Tucker.
Yep.
I had the biggest crush on Milja Jovovich when I was a kid.
Milja Jovovich, yeah, like all of it.
Yeah, you should definitely watch Fifth Element. Dude, it's really good. Honestly, it's a great movie. It's like, it's very fun and interesting. It's not really derivative of anything. I think that's what makes it so interesting. Omni is currently watching a movie and not being entertained by us. I'm sorry, Omni. You gotta watch Hackers instead. Acid burn, crash override.
Bro, I'm literally a hacker. You could just watch me.
What's up, Turning Cog? Welcome. I'm just fucking with you, Omni. Do what you want to do, bro. I am haxing the Gibson.
How about it? Can you see the village from there? Use the binoculars to recon the place.
Oh, that's sick, Anime. You watch the entirety of it in a bar?
Look at their gear. Take it all in. There should be
Zero cool. Yes, artificial sky.
tighter security. If there are clues to Miller's whereabouts, I'll bet you can find them in there.
Tony, I think that VO was really echoey.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I gotta hit that when they're talking. My bad.
That's okay, bro. What was it? Red Dead 3 Future Crime. Okay, wait. Better horse, Witcher 3 or Metal Gear? I already know the answer.
The Metal Gear. I don't like the Witcher horse.
Metal Gear Horse is amazing.
Witcher horse is just like drives on a spline automatically for you,
Yeah.
which I think some people thought was cool. And
Marker placed.
I do want to play Red Dead 2 someday, just to try it out and see it, because that is a crazy looking game, just in terms of the visuals.
Oh, welcome, Push Button. We weren't really afraid, but I'm glad you're here. So Tony is playing Metal Gear Solid 5, excuse me, and yeah, that's what we're doing. He hasn't played this really and doesn't remember a bunch of it or a lot of it, so we're just taking a look at this, and this is like a over 10-year-old game, and it holds up really, really well. Fantastic game. RDR2 is very cool. The story made me so angry at points that he wouldn't just leave those assholes he was riding with. That's fine. I can get that. What if the annoying voice in your ears on comms was Navi in Ocarina of Time? Hey, listen! Will you be taking a look at Mind's Eye? I don't know anything about it. Let me check it out, Potato. Let's see. UE5, June 10th, coming out soon.
You can mark enemies and vehicles by zooming in with your binoculars or camera. Once they're marked, you'll also see their position.
I don't know. So, Potato, what we tend to do is like look at games and try to like talk about game design and stuff like that. So we don't necessarily play new games for the sake of like doing a let's play or a new game. we're yapping a lot about Kojima and like actors right now, but I think it's just because of how Kojima is uniquely able to execute on his own stuff. Like Tony, you were saying that this game doesn't look like any other game before the stream, and we were kind of chatting about that. So we should probably let's continue that conversation a little.
Yeah, I think his game specifically, and I don't know if it's the engine or what, but I was just remarking that like they have a feel to them that feels different from other games, and I can't quite put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's just kind of a combination of like the UI and the responsiveness of everything, and just how like I feel like it's a little harder to make the argument now because this game is like 10 years old, but like I do think this game looks really clean. Like the graphics are very clean, the visuals are very clean. It's like just everything is designed really well and is kind of minimal, and Death Stranding definitely feels that way to me as well. It just has like this, it just feels different from every other game, and I can't quite put my finger on exactly why, but I just feel like you play most games and you kind of like they all kind of follow similar formulas and they feel similar in ways that you can't exactly explain. And you play this game or you play Death Stranding, and it has a very unique overall aesthetic to it and stuff that I've just always really appreciated.
Yeah, so my thoughts on it are the reason why this has a unique look and feel to it. So when I first played it, the UI UX and like player controls were very weird to me, and I didn't get it, and it took me a while to get used to how it played. But once it all started clicking for me, the game just opened up, and I started having a great time playing it. And I think the reason behind that is the thing that we talk about a lot with auteurs. And what I mean is like game director, creative director, Kojima himself being the type of guy who will like obsess over the UI, every little detail. And that's probably the feel and the look that you're getting in this, is him caring about like the animations of the horse, caring about the crosshairs, caring about how the binoculars work, how you mark targets, all that stuff. So I imagine working with Kojima would be frustrating as a person who's like just trying to get shit done and like ship the project. But at the same time, you get very high quality from someone like Kojima because he has such a strong vision for what he's trying to make. So that's kind of my take on it, is like I think it's his vision that gives his games this Kojima feel, right? So I know I'm being a little hand wavy and whatnot and glazing, but like I don't think you could get a Kojima game out of someone that's not Kojima, is what I'm trying to say. We did not talk about Battlefront 2 Resurgence, but yeah, there's a lot of people playing that now, remembering that it's a good game.
We talked about it a little, or I guess I talked about it a little bit yesterday.
Yeah.
I know we had a different stream, but yeah, it's been blowing up lately. I think fucking Burnout was the one who was in here asking about
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's been asking me about it. I never bought it, so I haven't played it. Oh, that's okay, Anime. My internet was out, bro. Oh, shit. Careful, Tony.
Go, D-Horse, go.
Let's see. Push Button says, I can't believe I've been cynical about games for over 10 years now. And a lot of people are saying Mind's Eye looks like the sort of game movies would have as a fake game. Okay, so that's why you wanted to hear the reaction, or like wanted to see our takes on it, is because you want to know like what we think too. I can get that. I think what's interesting, I don't know if you came here from our YouTube videos and whatnot, but if you did, you probably saw the stuff about Marathon where I wasn't sure how the game played, and then I played it and then reacted to that. I said I liked it. So we don't really try to be negative about games. It's more like giving an honest take as, people who make games, talking about the craft of making games. The real goal is to try to be like game developers that are talking directly about all this stuff, how we think about it with gamers, because that discourse doesn't really exist. It's a pretty toxic relationship. gamers and game developers tend to butt heads a lot. And I think a big part of that problem is because there's no open communication pipeline, and it's difficult for people who don't make games but play games to understand the thought process that goes into it. And it always comes off as like, well, you just don't get it, man. And it becomes this like dismissive conversation, and we really don't like that. So we're trying to talk about like why decisions get made, what people are thinking, you know, what makes games fun, how you think about making games fun. That's kind of like our angle. So it would be interesting to learn more about Mind's Eye, but I really don't like shitting on games. I do have very strong opinions, but like, I don't know. It's just it's like my take, and I will talk about, you know, objective quality or not. And what I mean by that is like attention to detail, really fleshing out things. When you add a mechanic into a game or put something into the game, it exists for a reason, and if it doesn't have a reason, it probably shouldn't be in the game. Stuff like that. That's where I would say like quality's lower. If there's like something in there because it's someone's darling that they wanted to put into a you know, interactive experience like a video game, you can tell and you're like, why the fuck is this in here? Even if it's fun, it might be weird. I don't know. There's a lot of mix of things and ideas. Resurgence of Battlefront 2 is a great example of how powerful streamers are as a marketing tool. That's another reason why we're doing what we do. Instead of having a streamer, it's us. Like we're trying to do that about our games and stuff. So let's see. Turning Cog was talking about how much he likes RDR2, saying it made him feel the whole range of emotions. It ate a ton of his time, and he was saying if you get into RDR2, you might lose like an entire season. I'm assuming you mean of the year. Like you might lose like spring and be like, oh shit, I've just been playing this game and like I'm super deep in it. That's cool. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Cowboy GTA could hold my attention for that long, to be honest.
Yeah.
But maybe.
I agree. The weird thing with this is like I usually don't enjoy games like this, like, you know, GTA or RDR. You could even say that about Metal Gear because it's a big open world game that has like kind of a free form, do whatever you want. But the constraints in Metal Gear are so good that I kind of always had an idea of what I needed to be doing, and I was having a good time. With GTA or RDR, when it's like you can do whatever you want, that's when I get really bored. I need a little more direction, a little more curated, you know, experience. And I think this, for me, this game, MGS5, perfectly is like towing that line between do whatever you want, but also enjoy this experience within this universe that I've crafted and the story I'm trying to tell you. So that's kind of why, for me, this hits well, and why like Rockstar games maybe don't as much. Yeah, exactly, anime. And I like, honestly, I'm totally cool with that. I get that there's, you know, no one really has the same kind of perspective, and if you guys enjoy that stuff, that's fantastic. I love that you enjoy it. I'm not saying you shouldn't, and you know, that's absolutely like valid. It's cool. RDR2 is insane. You'll stumble on crazy shit that takes you on a journey. Following quest markers and etc. is also there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had the same problem with The Witcher. There was like too much shit to do in Witcher 3. And you know, you spend like 20 hours in the very beginning part, and then the map opens up, and when the map opens up, that's when it like really started clicking for me. But it took me like 20 hours of not really having a whole lot of fun before I was like, oh, okay, now this is cool, and I can kind of like decide what I want to do. And that's when I was in with Witcher. Yeah, see, it's the 20 minutes of free roam shit that I just get really bored at. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, same anime. I did the same thing. I didn't play Witcher until it was out for like 2 years, and then I played it. I played it around the same time that I played MGS5. I totally understand that, Potato. I really get why you can't stand Witcher. I think, Tony, you're kind of in the same boat, right? You've tried so many times to enjoy it.
To play The Witcher?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say there's like 3 really solid attempts of like sitting down and giving it some time and just being like, nope, can't do it.
I never played Just Cause, but I've heard a lot of really positive stuff about Just Cause.
I know Anime and I were talking about how Far Cry 3 is super amazing, kind of along those lines.
I do like Far Cry
2
3.
ago. Far Cry 3 is so good.
Marker placed.
Anna says, I started to play GTA 4, got lost all the time, gave up the game. Also, I'm shit at driving cars, so I like to walk, and you can't walk in that game. I think that's totally fair, Anna. I didn't play... That's San Andreas, right? I didn't play that one. I played Vice City, mostly.
No, GTA 4 is after San Andreas. San Andreas is like a standalone game.
Which was 4 Return to Liberty City?
Yes. Yeah, with your cousin Nico and the bowling.
Oh, I did play some of that. Yep.
Yeah. That was like the Xbox 360 GTA.
Potato Hater says, Anna, you can take a taxi.
So I learned recently in an Any Austin video that the entire map of GTA 5 is smaller than the footprint of DIA.
Oh, interesting.
If you like scale them to be equivalent. And GTA
real
5
life?
feels fucking huge. And it's about the size of the footprint of DIA with all the runways, I guess.
DIA is the Denver airport, in case...
And it is the largest airport in the world.
It's the 5th most used?
Yeah. But they were talking about in this video in terms of land area, it is the largest one.
It's the 6th busiest now. The 3rd busiest in North America. That's crazy. 77 million passengers in 2023. 83 million in 2024. Just give me some pixelated blocks, Sploders, and Steve, and I'm amused for hours. I don't like what you're saying, Omni, but I'm not a Minecraft fan. Feel free to roast me, chat. I know. I'm old.
Hey, we played Minecraft together. You had a good time.
It was all right. I built a little mountain retreat. It was fun. I had a dog up there.
It made me and Aaron happy. So.
It did, yeah. Anna says, my sister played Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 5. And you can't take a taxi when you're running from the cops. Very true. Potato says, I'm back to Quake Remaster following Devil Daggers and Hyper Demon. That's sick, dude. Have you played Ultra Kill? Because Ultra Kill was shockingly good for, like, I loved it, dude. It was like, it was so good, man. It's like the classic id shooter, very twitchy, really, really fun.
Turning Cog, I disagree. Enshrouded was okay. It's not better than Minecraft.
Anime, were you talking about Enshrouded versus Minecraft? Saying that it missed you, but your little brother loved it? LFQ says, I cannot do vanilla Minecraft anymore. Yeah, that's fair.
That's kind of fair. Yeah.
Anna says, my problem with Witcher is that it came in a time where I didn't want to play male characters anymore, wanted to be a badass female Witcher, and not Geralt. Nothing against him. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
You do get to play as Ciri in Witcher 3, don't you?
Yeah, sort of. There's like
there's
side storyline.
Yeah.
But it's definitely Ciri's not the main character. So I think, Anna, you might be into Witcher 4 then.
That's true, yeah. It looks like Ciri is the main character in the new one.
Artificial Sky says, you're welcome. But what for? And then Turning Cog is speaking about himself in the third person, says Cog was. Okay, yeah, it was Minecraft. Okay, so Minecraft missed you. Yeah, dude, I agree. Minecraft was a huge miss for me. I did play Terraria a lot, though. Weirdly enough.
How do I kill this guy? Can I grab him?
Yeah, sneak up. Get right behind him.
Is it going to, like, prompt me?
I think you have to stand up.
Oh,
like, stay crouched.
Just chop him?
Yeah, dude, get his ass. But then you gotta hide the body.
Don't leave bodies out in the open. Find some place to
Or
drop
Fulton
them.
his ass. Yeah, dude. Oh, you don't have the Fulton yet.
Oh, I don't have the Fulton yet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Artificial Sky. Yeah, Artificial Sky gifted Ultra Kill so we could play on stream. I did a full playthrough. That's in our VODs on the YouTube if you want to check that out. Which reminds me, I am so sorry, YouTube chat.
I don't think
I
I've
just
seen anybody on there. It was just shooted.
No. It was Goofy Gobbler says, "Do you guys know who the guy in the bandages is?"
I didn't see that,
I
sorry.
don't. I don't. I'm sorry, Goofy Gobbler. We just saw you, so that was a while ago. I apologize. We typically don't get a lot of YouTube chat. I hope you're still there. Not ignoring you on purpose. I know I'm not done with Ultra Kill, but I did the first playthrough. I know there's like NG Plus and stuff. And that's one of my favorite things about playing games is playing games with another person or like watching another person play games like in real life, like on the couch. Like it's super chill. It's great. Anna said growing up with a sister who loved video games as much as I do and we shared a bedroom, it's good because we watch each other playing games. My whole GTA Metal Gear experience was watching her play. Yeah, very cool shit. Back in the day when Sparkle and I were dating early, I played Resident Evil on GameCube, and she like was too scared to play, but we had a really good time, like just chilling, and like I'm playing, and I'd be like, "Oh fuck, there's zombies, there's a dog!" Like it was a good time. Potato says, "I like Proteus. Really nice at ships with a level editor." I don't know anything about Proteus. I do have Consort Radon to beat. I have not done that. As weird as it is, Striva, I kind of like don't care about Consort Radon. I'd rather S rank everything in Armored Core 6. Just 100% it.
Oh, did they find a body or something?
Yep.
Thought I hid that body. This guy's gonna see me probably.
It goes without saying that darkness is good.
Yeah, don't forget your echoing, Tony, when the VO happens.
Will be affected just the same. Keep your guard up, or who knows when you'll bump into an enemy.
Night and Shadow. Oh, he's telling you about changing time of day because at night it's a lot easier. Yes, anime. Solid Tony. Anna says, I remember me and the PC playing Fallout, and she's playing Metal Gear on the PS3 side by side, and we talk about it the whole time. Yeah, dude, that's the best shit with games. Yeah, go ahead, push button.
You have arrived at your destination.
That's what the stream's all about. You know, if you want to make a game and you got ideas and you're not sure where to start or any of that, like, we can definitely help you out. Looter shooter set in a megacity being building built from destructible meshes, variable vulnerabilities, resistance to weapon types. So there'd be rock, paper, scissors, combat, defense, destruction. Floors of the tower would be built of increasingly resilient walls to get to higher levels and the best loot. Fight your way to the top, but keep tidy. As you progress, the building will accumulate damage, bring the whole thing down, and you lose. The hardest problem that I think of in that, not that you're necessarily looking for feedback, but if you want it, I'm down to talk about it, is why does the loot matter to me? I think that's the hardest part about doing a loot-driven game, and a lot of designers can miss on that. If you're giving people loot, so okay, let's back up. Let's talk about live service games that have loot in them. Live service games typically leverage loot in a way to keep the player engaged with the live service. And that's because they want to have you engage with a microtransaction. So you have a lot of loot that is not valuable. That's bad loot. So if you think about how to make your loot valuable and important and why a player would want that loot, that's a really good starting place. Any idea is fantastic. There are billions of really good ideas. Most of them are not new or unique. The biggest way to be successful with an idea is your execution. So that's where we can talk about Kojima and obsessing over every detail of a game, playing it repeatedly, walking over to every individual team member, maybe a little bit of creative micromanagement, but that makes a game good. So I think that's the thing that you need to consider, Push Button. I don't know if you want to make this or not, but if you do, like, there's a lot of things that you should think about, and you could definitely get there. I will say it's a lot of work. So if you're trying to build that by yourself, it's going to take you a lot of time. Like, a lot of time. Nice. Tony's just taking them all out. Let's go. Potato says, there are a lot of soccer games made in Fox Engine, apparently. Really? That's crazy. Like Winning 11 type shit? I don't even know. Like, what are the soccer games, bro? Omni says, my favorite game I love to hate was DayZ. I mean, honestly, I don't even know why you play DayZ, bro. Like, that's crazy. I wouldn't imagine that you're like a DayZ player. Yeah, I think so. Or you mean I was like right with Winning 11? Yes, dude. I'm a genius, chat. I've never even played that shit. I just fucking knew. Omni says when you play DayZ on a private server with a group of friends, it's really fun. I mean, yeah, I guess. Okay, so yeah, Omni, I think that's the thing, is that you're more of a social gamer and you care more about playing with a group of people than which game you're actually playing, which that makes sense to me. But I wouldn't be like, yo, Omni, you should play DayZ. This is your kind of game. I would be like, you should play Fall Guys and, you know, Gang Beasts and shit like that. Or Mario Party. I feel like you would have a hell of a good time with that, because those are a lot more social leveraged in the experience. Oh, I believe that, anime. Pro Evolution Soccer is actually the name. Yeah, Winning 11 was made by Konami and Fox Engine too, though.
You should look up what the Death Stranding engine is based on, because I want to remember.
So you picked up an intel file.
Extraction.
Now we know where Miller is. I'm marking it on your iDroid.
The map has been updated.
Decima engine.
Marker placed.
It was Guerrilla Games. It's their engine for Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's it. Yep.
Interesting. I didn't expect that. That makes sense, though.
But again, like, I think you could side by side, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn and Death Stranding, and none of the Kojima style things that we were just talking about before would apply to Horizon Zero Dawn. And it's just, they've named it their entirely own engine, so I think they've taken the source and like changed how it works a lot, or, you know, done something to it. But yeah.
Push button.
He took all of his like Kojima guys with him when Konami guys with him.
Yeah, he did.
Left. So it's like the people who made that spice originally are still there.
Push button says that's a fair point. It'd be buffs for speed, accuracy, damage, defense, push the efficiency of a run. Plenty of room for MacGuffins and lore too. So systems wise, I think you have some good ideas. So let's talk about level design. That's going to be really tricky if you have every wall and floor and ceiling being destroyable. Because, so if you think about the best examples I can give are like Doom 2016 versus Doom Eternal. Doom 2016 had very carefully handcrafted levels that felt like OG Doom, OG id shooter, because they put a lot of care into every enemy spawn, every power-up spawn, every secret. They really thought about all that. When you have a game like Eternal, where multiple encounters can occur in the same space, it starts to turn into like a soup. And you just get like endless glory kills, mixed combatants just kind of milling around in a big circular space. It gets really muddy or soupy. Those were the terms that we used working on Destiny, talking about encounter design. So what is fun is when you're like, okay, this type of enemy, say it's like a cyber demon, is easier to kill with a rocket launcher. An imp is easier to kill with a shotgun. So you think about how you place those in the space to force the player to switch weapons and move into and out of cover. That is not soupy. We call that a good combat puzzle. So when you have an environment where the player can just negate the space that you've created and blown the floor or the ceiling or the walls out, you have to consider how to make that. So what I would say is that your biggest challenge is going to be making compelling AI that can do pathfinding dynamically based on walls being blown out and floors being blown out and reacting to player actions. So you're going to have a
multiplayer. You got to network the destruction physics. That's always going to be fun. I know the finals has shown that it's possible, but I'm sure it's very spicy.
So I think you've created some really big design challenges for yourself with that idea. It's not to say you can't do it. Just a part of good design is creating. So a video game is a set of problems. That's what I mean by constraints. And with those problems, you give the player tools to solve each problem. There's the game. So when you have those things defined, you can start to build the game up around it and create the type of experience where a player is going to feel feelings and emotions just by going through the actions of playing the game. So these are the things that you need to consider and think about. And maybe having destructible floors and ceilings would hurt what you're going for, because you need a place where the player can easily understand the constraint of like, oh, the next level is up, right? Why would they go down? Why would they want to go down? Those are just big questions you got to think about. So like, yeah, I don't know. That's how I would approach it. Anime, it's totally fine if you liked Eternal. I noticed as an encounter designer and level designer, it was just so clear to me how much worse the encounter design was in Eternal from 2016. And so it made me so frustrated.
Coming out of 2016 and going, man, this game is so fucking amazing, and then not having more of it was disappointing, I guess. I don't know. Game. I think it's probably a very extremely well-made game from a technical sense, especially, but I don't think it's as fun.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I wasn't trying to say Eternal's a bad game. I'm just trying to say that for me, in my experience, being a fan of id shooters from a very young age, the first shooter I played was Wolfenstein when I was like 8 years old. So I played a ton of Doom as a kid. 2016 felt like a return to that. It felt like the older Dooms. And then going to Eternal, I had really high expectations that it was going to be more of that. And it wasn't. It was a different style, and that's what I didn't like. I also really didn't like the Always Online. I really didn't like the Battle Pass MTX shit. I don't even know if it was a Battle Pass, but they did a bunch of front-loaded MTX stuff. You always had to be online for that.
Check your iDroid for his location.
Um,
No, he's all right. He's not your average client.
Yeah, in Adder, I'm not trying to be the vocal minority saying like Eternal's a bad game. I'm just saying that I didn't like it because it's not what I wanted. And that's where I could see the perspective of a game developer saying, well, it's just not for you. Yeah. If you want a broader audience, go for it. I want the niche title. I want the devoted fan base, nostalgic boomer shooter guy gameplay. That's why I like Ultra Kill so much, right?
Yeah, like I'd argue like Armored Core 6 was the type of game that you wanted from a new Armored Core game, as opposed
100%.
to like them changing everything and completely redesigning the formula.
And yeah, and I would support that opinion even as someone who played a ton of AC5, which was not good.
Which was kind of the same problem as Doom Eternal. Yeah, exactly.
It was unfortunately not good, but I played hundreds of hours of that game. Okay, so let's see. Pushed says, I like the idea that more you just blow shit up, the harder they make it. Yeah, you killed everyone, but you need cover. You need a floor. It encourages accurate and considered progression. Okay, so if that's what you want out of it pushed, I would say that you need to give the player the ability to build a new wall, floor, or ceiling. Because then if you can like create your own cover, then you don't have to do all the level design yourself. You could procedurally generate shit and let the player create spaces. But, you know, it's your problem to solve because it's your idea in your game. So however you want to execute on it is up to you. There's a bunch of ways to, you know, skin that cat. Why was AI better in older games like Fear? Hang on, I gotta go find this message. I liked it.
Shit. Fear is a linear first-person shooter with a lot of constraints, and they just thought really hard about how to design encounters that made you feel like the AI was really smart.
Yeah, I just didn't see the whole message. Anime figurines said it. Okay, why was AI better in older? Why is it so dumb now? Yeah. Did you see Adder's message, Tony? Were you reading that?
Because AI is much more dynamically set up with significant. Yeah, exactly. It's like kind of the opposite, but the same thing of what I was saying is like now games are so dynamic and there's so many different things that could happen that the AI has to be really smart and account for every single situation. When you're playing Fear, you're in a room that's designed a certain way. They know you're going to come in this door. The enemies are going to spawn over there. Your cover is set up in such a way that it's very likely you're going to go to these spots. That they know that in the game designs, they're going to have the AI counter that, and just so on and so forth. If you were in a super constrained situation like that with a modern AI, I imagine they could design it to be very difficult for you if they wanted to.
So these are your problems, Push Button, and this is why we're talking through it. We're trying to help you like think of, you know, it's not trying to be like your idea is bad or like you didn't think this. It's more shoot holes in your own shit to make your concept stronger, and then it will lead you to solutions and you'll figure out what you need to do to make it. So that's really good. I'm glad you like this
when you tell people about your ideas, I feel like it's easy to hear somebody go, well, like, what about this? Or like start poking holes in it, and then for you to kind of feel like some level
defensive
of that because like they're not just like, oh, that was a cool idea, but like you need to take that as an opportunity both to understand that that person's interested in what you're talking about, for one, and they're engaging with you and asking questions, but two, if your idea is really good and you actually believe in it, then like they shouldn't be able to poke holes in it and you should be able to answer those questions. And if you can't, then you should reflect on that and make sure that you can in the future, because they probably are good questions. And, you know, if they're bringing up things that you're like, no, I don't think that's relevant, or, you know, I like my solution for that, then that's all you need. You just got to believe in your own idea.
Push Button says smart AI is hard, ergo not fun. I don't know that I agree necessarily. There's a way to do it, but again, you have to do the thing that Fear did that we're talking about, where the level design doesn't change and it's very carefully built. So, okay, this is a really good example. In Destiny, a lot of the encounters got really soupy and they got very messy because content had to be churned out to keep pace, and the quality of encounter design went down. It wasn't because the tools didn't exist to make the AI feel dynamic and reactionary and like they're doing really cool shit based on what the player's doing. That was something that I really tried to focus on in all the encounters that I built, and I barely scratched the surface of the capabilities for what Bungie's AI could do. So figuring out how to effectively use it was really tricky. And oftentimes you could just be like, here's a big area for AI to make their own decisions. We'll just spawn them here and make them run into there and fight the player from this point, and we can put some cover in there and they'll kind of like use the cover or whatever. The better way to do it was to be like, there was a concept of anchors and popcorn and stuff like that. So the best example I can give for that is in Halo, an elite is an anchor. The grunts, the jackals, those were, you know, the grunts were popcorn. Those are things that you can chew through really quickly with a minimal amount of ammo and feel like an action badass. But the elite is going to stop you. And you've got a concept of enemy space, neutral space, and player space. An encounter should be built in a way that the player can push into neutral space and take enemy space. And as they're pushing into the enemy space, the enemy should be able to push into the neutral space to push the player back, but never into the player space, because the player needs a safe spot to retreat to. So when you consider these concepts and you start thinking about like, okay, I want this elite, when I pop his shields, to do something interesting, we could do that. We could move the elite to another spot so it becomes really hard to get to. And when he's in that retreat mode, another wave of grunts comes in and pushes you out of your own cover, throwing grenades or like running at you with the stickies and blowing themselves up. All of that shit makes really fun combat puzzles. And you can't do that with dynamic terrain, you know, really like complicated AI that are doing those things. So you can make the AI complicated in certain ways, but it's all a trade-off. I think one of the most interesting concepts that I heard at Bungie was geometry is gameplay. And what that means is your level design is gameplay, especially in a shooter, because the player's moving between the different, you know, spaces that you've set up to give them options and give them a sense of agency where they can make good decisions and they feel smart because they understand the constraints and they function within those constraints and they use the tools you give them. They stop thinking about it being a game and they're just playing. And that's when they go, man, that was so fun. They don't know why. They're not thinking about it in the same way that we are. So that's the discipline of game design.
And I think the AI conversation now too is interesting because of technology and stuff. Like I imagine when they made Fear, like all of that, of course, is very bespoke and hard-coded and stuff like that to some extent. And now, like, I don't know if you guys were around for, like, when we made the zombies and stuff, but I built those using the, like, 5 senses system that I have in Unreal now. Like, those were AI that could see and they could hear and they can, like, detect things going on. And you could design entire, like, behavior trees around those things. And that's just out of the box behavior now. And creating a system like that before would have been like a totally like bespoke custom system for whatever game it was. And so we might kind of be in like the coming out of the valley of like AI doesn't feel very good right now because of what Adder was saying about how dynamic everything is. But now we're starting to get technology that can catch up to all of the scenarios that we're throwing at it. And, you know, maybe people can start making it feel better. I don't know if you want to talk about like the marathon AI. I remember everybody saying that that was kind of like notably better than we've seen from a lot of games in the past. I don't know if you ended up feeling that way after you played it, but I remember a lot of people saying that.
I did in some ways, and I could see potential for it, but I will say that the AI in Marathon were thin. It was like it was that basic model that I just described of like an anchor and fodder, and players would always come in and fuck that up. And it being a big open map, those encounters aren't designed in the same way. So the reason why corridor shooter is a thing and like why you go, you know, you're holding W key and just moving forward, you kind of meander left and right, is because that feels good for us as animals. As human beings, we have stereoscopic senses on the front of our face. So we move forward because we're predatory animals. So moving backwards feels really bad for us. So you have to consider that and think about how to always keep driving the player forward because it feels natural and comfortable for us. Shit, I'm kind of like rambling because I started reading another message. But what was your specific statement again, Tony? Do you remember at this point?
I was just talking about like the marathon AI potentially being a step
Okay.
up and how like technology is, you know, maybe allowing for slightly better AI development now because you can kind of build them with perception and all of those things.
So this goes back to the big circular arena for a combat encounter, in why that's a very difficult design. So anytime I would make a circular arena, I would focus on like pie slices. I'd be like, there's combat in this section. When you clear this combat puzzle, it moves to another section and it usually flows out from there. I wouldn't spawn shit behind you because I know you're focused here. So I would like start spawning in a trickle over here as you're getting rid of that encounter. And then you kind of move around the pie in certain directions. That feels better. When you're in a fight and dudes spawn behind you, start shooting you in the back and they're flanking you, you run all the way to the back side of it and you're looking at the whole circle in the widest angle you can. That feels bad. A lot of players don't understand that that's why it feels bad because they're not thinking about like that human behavior thing. But a designer that does that, I would say, I mean, with the least pejorative intent, is somewhat lazy, or maybe just not understanding that that's the thing that makes the combat fun. And so you might be like, well, let's just spawn more guys in this circle, in this big arena, and we'll always send them from certain spaces. It's hard. It's basically an unwinnable challenge. It's better when you have corridors because you know a player is going to move from start to finish. In a circle, you have to get them moving around the circle, or doing something that feels kind of intuitive or predictable. So that's why I would say that's really hard. Turning Cog, I want to get to your messages. You were talking about shit. I need to scroll up and go find that. About Go. Yes, I'm familiar with the game Go. I haven't played Go. But yes, it's about controlling space instead of taking dudes. That's totally valid. And that's why, like, machines haven't been able to solve Go yet, but they could solve chess. Because chess is about taking units. Anime agrees that Destiny combat felt very muddy a lot of the time. We were churning out seasonal content like crazy at that point. So from my experience, anime, being one of the newer guys at Bungie at the time, the first thing I did was I got to know all of the like OG encounter designers, and I just had them playtest my shit all the time and give me real solid feedback. And sometimes, like, in the first couple sessions, they would kind of like joke a little bit and kind of give me a really hard time. I remember one of the guys said something like, man, I don't know about this one. This is just a shitty dick, and nobody wants a shitty dick. And I was like, damn, bro. It wasn't specifically about me. It was about one of my teammates in the space that he was working on, because I advised the team, hey, we should talk to these guys, because these guys are like the campaign designers. They're the fucking goats. We're the open world designers. Let's get some help from them. So having that one negative experience for those guys, they were like, I'm never talking to them again. And they, they kind of took me aside and they were like, hey, we really appreciate you. I hope we weren't too hard on them. And I was like, dude, those guys don't have thick skin. It's fine. I appreciate your feedback. Because when you say it's a shitty dick, I'm going to be like, why? How do I make it better? And that helps. It helped me learn a ton. So, like, they taught me all the things that I was just talking about. Taking space, player space, neutral space, enemy space, geometry is gameplay, understanding the concepts of anchors and fodder, and like how you move a player through an encounter with a combat puzzle. Like, all of that shit was what I really focused on in encounter design. And some of the newer activity designers that would build stuff in Destiny didn't get any of that knowledge just because of the nature of the studio and having to make so much content. It really took extra effort, like, I, as a designer, chose to do that in my spare time. I would go talk to these guys. I'd go, I was like, who's the best fucking person at doing this thing? I'm going to go talk to them. Learn how they did it. Learn what they thought, what their whole process was. And unfortunately, in a studio with 1,000 people working on a single product, majority of designers didn't do that. And that's why you have such a broad mix of content in Destiny. Pull up the zombie TikTok I made. What was the zombie TikTok?
Oh, of our zombies.
With the skeleton?
Yeah.
That shit's so good. Yo, this man got a gun in his hand.
I was gonna say, he just pulled an MP7 out of his palm. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Turning Cog, what's your experience with Go? I'd love to talk to you more about that. If you want to share some of what you think about Go and, like, kind of explain the game, because I know there are 2 colors of pieces in their discs, sort of like Othello, but it's not like a... Like, there's rules about how you can place parts or place pieces, and that's the main thing that you're thinking of. You're always playing the player. You're not. There's like not really a game itself. It's you versus another human being, and like logical processes and like moods and thinking and shit like that. I gotta pee. Be right back.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing something different here, but...
Boss, the target's dead.
unit that attacked us before. They came at us real fast in the same kind of mist. Man, survivors from 9 years ago were wiped out. All right. But it's them.
We did it, chat. I'm back. Nice. Okay, just in time for Turning Cog's message about Go. I never vibed with chess, so studying different philosophies, I came across texts that referenced the game, so I learned how it's played. Not very good, but it shaped how I began to perceive the world differently as a landscape instead of individuals in my path. Yes, dude. That's the power of games. Yeah. That shit's so cool to me. I mean, I guess it's not just games. It's like stories, too. And, like... Yeah, I get the most satisfaction when I can, like, connect with another human being that has experienced the thing that I made, and it made them think about something. And in a way that I never imagined that they would think about it. I think that's the most important part, is, like, keeping it broad enough so that a person can relate to it personally, but giving them enough direction to go and have a feeling that I'm trying to elicit, right? Like... Yeah. I'm sad Goofy Gobbler's gone on YouTube. Bye, Goofy Gobbler. Thank you for coming through.
Extraction arrived
All right, so I think you're going to go to Mother Base now, Tony. Because you just rescued... Is it Revolver Ocelot?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, long live YouTube chat for sure. Push button says, my cat has me well trained. She just got me to open my man cave door using cuteness, and then she got me to let her into the house. I mean, cats are really good at that. Cat vocalizations are in the same tonal range as the cry of a human baby. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah,
And they don't get them in the wild at all. It's just for humans.
Yeah, they like chitter at each other and hiss, and that's it, and growl. But the like meow, that meow noise is for humans. I know you're kidding at her, yeah. So
I
what am I
beat Pikmin 1 last night for the
Oh,
first
you
time.
did?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. That's very cool. That's a
I've been playing
great game.
There's a Pikmin mobile game that is like a pedometer. But me and my wife have been playing it since we went to Disney World because we're walking around a lot, and she had never seen it. So I was like, oh, I got to play it. And I've never actually beaten it. So it was really fun.
It's such a good game. Yeah. I also wanted to say that this thing where it says like Konami, a Kojima production, this happens like 5 fucking times in this game, and it makes me laugh so hard.
I mean, that might have been the 3rd time right there. So
I love it.
There's like
so
one when
much.
you like start the game up for the first time. There's one when you hit the new game button, and then there's that one. So.
It's so good. It's one of my favorite things. It's really funny.
It does some interesting stuff too. Like I wiped my save file before we started up the stream so that we could start the game over, and that made it so that when I started the game up, it made me close the game when I did it. When I started the game up, all these cutscenes and stuff that don't normally play when you start it up for a different time, the main menu screen looks different than it does after.
Yo, we're getting raided, Tony.
Oh,
Yo,
shit,
Stevie Ray Drawn, thank you so much. Welcome, Raiders. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Please continue with what you're saying.
No, yeah, that's awesome. Welcome.
Yo, welcome. Thank you for raiding. Love seeing you guys here. Potato says, are the people that called your stuff shitty dicks still at Bungie? Because Bungie sure puts out some crap lately. So one of the guys who said that was actually, I think he's the creative director for Apex now. But he was a good dude. I really like that guy. And I didn't take it personally. He was giving me good feedback. Because he was talking shit at first because he thought it was funny. He wanted to, those old heads wanted to see if I had like the thick skin to take the feedback, right? And I was like, well, how do I make it better? And they were like, well, try this. If you put this, like your space isn't balanced. You need to add some geometry here. You need like a big piece of cover, some soft cover. Like we talked through it, and it was very useful things. And I'd be like, how did you guys do this in this one mission that you shipped? Because I really thought that was cool. And they were like, oh, okay, here's what I was thinking about. So I don't remember if the other guys are still there. I don't think they are. One might be on the raid team or a creative director. I don't know. Oh, damn, Tony. Bro, that was your boy.
Ocelot told me to.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, you got to send him off to re-education
Oh, he
camp.
wanted me to do this guy, but whatever.
Nah, that's okay. He's getting re-educated. Okay, let's see. Yes, we are from your home state. We're in Colorado. How did you find us, Stevie? Were you just like browsing the category or something?
So that staff member was placed on the R&D team. The R&D team is in charge of developing all kinds of weapons.
Adder was watching Stevie's stream, and then all of a sudden it was 2 Fractal Groves. Nice. Making a horror job simulator in Unreal. We worked on the pickup item system today. That's very cool. So, Stevie, what we do here is on Wednesdays we do Unreal and work on games and stuff like that. And on Thursdays we do like game design breakdown and talk about games. We're playing Metal Gear Solid 5 today. My business partner Tony hasn't played it, or like played a little bit of it and has forgotten. So we're getting back into it. We've been talking a lot about Kojima's design choices. I was talking about encounter design. One of our community members pushed button, pitched a game idea, and we were talking about his game idea and like how to execute on that, make that work, and like where we could see some problems with it, stuff like that. So yeah, let me drop some links for y'all. And Discord. Okay, so we only stream 4 hours a week. We're actually coming close to time here, but it's been cool. So I don't know what your schedule looks like, Tony, but we could go a little over if you wanted to.
We'll go a little over probably.
Yeah. So again, on Wednesdays we do Unreal game development. Tony's usually got the editor up and he's building something, and I'm like yapping about game industry news and whatnot. I've been building games for close to like 15 years now. Professional game designer. I've done a lot of stuff from mobile to AAA. I worked on Destiny for about 5 years, shipped to D2. I did the Whisper and 0 Hour secret missions. Behind me here is a life-size prop of the Whisper of the Worm sniper rifle from the Whisper secret mission, built by a friend of mine and gifted to me. I can't pick it up and show you guys because we will get immediately knocked off of YouTube. I did it once a year ago, and they were like, nah, dog, you can't hold that up. So it's not even a functional weapon. It's just a piece of plastic, but I can't even show you guys anything about it up close to the camera. Otherwise, I would. We're working on a game in UE5 for PC VR called Hyperskate. It'll be in the Linktree link there. The best way to keep in touch with us if you guys are building your own games and you want to talk to people who make games, hop into our Discord. We're more reachable there. We've helped Brightside solve stuff from like networking issues all the way to like dark mode in what was it, Chrome? Oh, you're muted, Tony.
It was something like that.
Yeah, I don't even remember. What was it, Brightside? We helped you figure out how to enable dark mode. But yeah, we like to help, and we like to help people make video games, and like we're trying to demystify the whole process and like connect with gamers. Dark mode and File Explorer, that was it. But yeah, we're trying to like connect with gamers because there's this like really negative adversarial relationship between gamers and people who make video games. So we're doing the risky thing of putting our faces out there and our voices out here as the co-founders of the studio to just talk to people and be real human beings. And instead of being like, oh, you don't get it, chud, whatever, like fuck that, that's stupid. We love games too, and we want to just have a better discourse. So it also helps to tell you guys about our games and what we're working on, and show you progress and help you understand what the vision is without spoiling it. And like, yeah. Push button says I miss VR. I have to get a new headset one day. Pushed, I would recommend, if you don't want to get a Deckard, which we don't know the price point or specs on yet, get a Quest 3. Quest 3 is really, really, really good value for the for the price. Like it's an incredible headset. That's mostly what I use. Tony uses an Index, but he also has a Quest 3. So yeah, I've got a Quest 2 and a Quest 3. Yeah, that's what we dev with. Brightside legit hit the flashbang every time you search for a file. Yeah, exactly.
Look at this IK.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
This is crazy.
Guaranteed this is Kojima just really frustrating a character animator, being like, nah, man, he's got to be able to roll around and do the roll shit. It needs to look better.
It's wild. I can just lay on my back here.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's very good. But yeah, thank you so much. Stevie, did you answer? Oh, you love the game design breakdowns. Awesome. I didn't even know that you knew that. That's awesome. It's so cool. He told you to come check us out? Oh, Turning Cog. Nice. Thank you, Turning Cog. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thanks for shouting us out. Stevie, I'm going to go find you and follow. There we go. Got you. Thank you, Stevie. I don't know anything about you, but I will check you out next time you're live. What do you do on your stream? If you're still here, that is. I'd love to hear more about your whole business and what you got going on. Don't even. Oh, you got the Lana Lux raid. Thank you so much. Yeah, Lana's sick. Lana's carrying a large community in software game dev. Yeah, we're usually around 20, but we get a lot of love from Brightside and Boom, and now you. Prismatica Dev has rated us a couple times. Prismatica's really cool. It's fun being in this category. We really like it. Push says, I had a WMR headset back when that was a thing. Maybe the Deckard will get me back into it. It could be, yeah. That's very true, Omni. 20, but we hardcore. Absolutely. I think the nice thing about our stream, Stevie, is that we're not like 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day. We only stream Wednesday and Thursday for 2 hours at a time. So if it works out, you can come catch us, during that period, or all of our VODs go up on the YouTube channel. We simultaneously stream to both. Every VOD is up on YouTube. We have 161 videos up on YouTube. Yes, thank you, Anna. Drop those trees. 2 days, 2 hours, hardcore. Yeah. We're not trying to be professional streamers, like dead ass. We're not doing that. I'm a 2D artist. I've been teaching, self-teaching UE for about a year now. Started after being impacted by industry layoffs and just feeling this burning need to make games and tell stories. Yes, dude, yes. So for me, Tony and I started talking about building a studio in 2020. I had just left Bungie, very late 2019.
18 maybe, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When I was still working on Destiny. But I left Bungie in 2019, late, November or something like that. Moved back to Colorado in March, right as COVID hit. Worked on a Top Golf game called Shank Stars for mobile. I think it's already canceled. I'm
gonna be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, no worries, bro. It shipped and then got shut off, but it's fine. I was a lead level designer there, built golf courses and stuff. And then after that, I went to go work on Return to Moria for Free Range Games, and I was lead designer on that as well. But I did a bunch of different stuff across Return to Moria. In-game, cinematic scripted events. I did the random hazards for levels. I did boss design, a bunch of stuff. So after, as the project was getting close to ship, I was too expensive. The studio needed to lay people off. I got hit with the layoff. Tony and I had already started Fractal Grove at that point, and I was like, I'm going to go full-time. Been doing it full-time 2 years this month. So, about 2.5 weeks ago was my 2-year anniversary of full-time with Fractal Grove. Spent like the first 8 months really hitting the investor trail, trying to pitch ideas and meet people and get publishing and funding and all that stuff. Yes, Turning Cog, the mining survival game. I worked on that. Thank you, Stevie. It's very hard. I have a lot of. I can't thank Sparkle Loser, my wife, enough for the support and the the willingness to let me try to go do the crazy dream bullshit that I've always been doing with making video games. She's the rock of our household, so she holds it down. But yes, because she's so awesome, I'm able to do this. So I spent 8 months like on the investor trail. It was a really terrible time. Industry was getting hit with layoffs. The austerity was in full swing. No one was funding anything unless it was like a AAA game as a service and you knew the person. So there was a lot of it was just really difficult. I got a lot of hey, this is cool, let's keep in touch, but no solid yeses, because that's how the investor and publisher deal group thing interaction works. And as all these layoffs were hitting in, let's see, where were we? 23? Yeah, kind of like the end of 2023, or maybe it was the beginning of 2023. I was like, hey, what if we started live streaming instead of doing an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter or something like that? Let's do live stream content and see if that can fund the studio. Thankfully, from amazing support from you guys, LFQ, Analyrith, Adder now, Omni still hasn't subbed, but that's okay. Lots of people, tons of people. Artificial Sky.
Hey, our rich friend hasn't subbed to us yet.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
Oh, he says no, dude. I am subbed. Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. I just didn't see a sub badge or anything. Yeah, get him, LFQ. Hit him with the lull. Unless you're lulling at me, which is also appropriate. But because of these wonderful people, we can cover operations costs. So that's software licenses, cloud server storage, all kinds of stuff like that. So that's covered. And we're slowly, we're gaining steam, gaining momentum, building the studio up, trying to do the thing that Pirate Software says he does, but we're actually doing that. I had to throw a jab in there, but yeah,
10 hours a day, all day, every day.
Yeah, 10 hours a day, all day, every day. Next MMO. WoW killer, right? No, we're not doing that. We're making a VR game that is a box product, start to finish experience, not a game as a service. We have probably 5 different. Oh, look at that! Omni was not subbed. Thank you, Omni. But yeah, so LMQ hit him with the carrot. No, you're great, Omni. Omni, I love you, bro. I'm not trying to give you shit, man.
Would have been funny if somebody had gifted him a sub right then.
That would have been amazing. But yeah, so this is how we're trying to do it, and it's working. It's slow, but it's steady. The progress is there. Because of the video content we've made, I've been able to get people to help contribute to the project. So the biggest thing we need right now is art contributors. We've had probably about 4 or 5 different artists come through. We've got one that we're talking to right now. Art is kind of a blind spot for both Tony and I. I'm a professional game designer, so I do the vision and what we're building and the systems and all that. Tony's an extremely gifted engineer, so he's taught himself Unreal. He's a successful software entrepreneur, so he owns the whole code stack. So we've got creative vision and we've got engineering handled. We need an art champion, and that's kind of where we're at. We've got a very wonderful concept artist and graphic designer that we've been working with too. Did all the branding for our company, our logo, our website, all that stuff. Very cool shit. He's working on some concept art for us too. We're gonna hopefully be able to take that concept art, deliver it to 3D artists, and get some stuff built for the game that we need. Otherwise, it's prototypey stuff. So if you're taking a look at the Hyperskate trailer, what you're looking at is the art that we've been able to get from the asset store or block out tools and stuff like that. So that's the whole thing. That's what we're doing here. And we love having fun with you guys, and it's been really cool to meet all you amazing people. It's been a lot of fun. Why is Night Rain not playing, bro? I don't know, but I feel bad. I'm sorry that you're suffering right now.
I was thinking about that if we were gonna do it for stream today, and it looked like maybe it came out at 3 or something like that. But I was like, it's launch day. There's no way that game will even open up for like the first hour or two.
Stevie, so the style itself is not something. I'm not an art director, so the hardest part of that is describing the art style. We have a lot of concept art that we use like Midjourney to generate. It's not stuff we want to ship, right? So like we could create some concepts like mood board stuff with art that we've created using AI tools, talk to an artist and say these are kind of the things we're looking for. So we have a lot of stuff like that. In Hyperskate, imagine it's a sweeping organic landscape. So what I mean by that is like mountains and trees and rocks and stuff like that, grass and bushes, with punctuated by large, inscrutable, simple geometric, smooth surface, monolithic features, megastructures and stuff like that. We have like a giant cube at the end of Hyperskate. There's more that I could talk about with that. I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to give away a lot of the like mystery of what the game is. But think about it like Riders Republic or Steep, but with a sci-fi future space kind of angle to it, right? So we have the build up on Steam. It's PCVR multiplayer. If you guys want to play it and you have a headset, the only thing we ask is that you subscribe on YouTube, you subscribe on Twitch, and you're in the Discord. It makes it way easier for us to track who has keys. We've given out about 10 keys at this point, but yeah, of course, Artificial Sky. It's because of a raid from the lovely Stevie Ray Drawn, passing on the love from the Lana Lux stream. So yeah, it's really cool having all these people here.
Oh, we're getting second tier Lana Lux raid right now. That's sick.
Yeah. Between watching hackers during streams, not showing us the poetry anymore, and now only subbing after being called out. Yeah, Anna, get him. Anna is taking shots at Omni with the side eyes there. Artificial Sky said, "No, it's fine. Had to relaunch Steam." Okay, so you got in. That's cool, man. Yeah, we do still love Omni. We like giving him a hard time. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, buddy. I do love you. You're awesome, and I appreciate your support. I do miss your poems.
It's time to go loud.
High level realism or stylized? Stylized. The reason for stylized is because VR, we have very specific requirements for performance. So keeping stylized can lower a lot of like performance hits that you're gonna take. We need to
describe it as like realistic, stylized kind of. Like we're not trying to go for like really
not cartoony,
not like it just take like Quixel assets and make them lower fidelity, like that kind of stylization.
Like the Wayland Tower? Do you mean from like Wayland Yutani, Alien? Or is this Blade Runner? They had to go somewhere. Forward shading and all that jazz. Blade Runner, yeah. Exactly. If you're talking about that pyramid that like Jared Leto was hanging out in with his spooky eyeball drones, yes, shit like that. So imagine you have like natural terrain, and that's where you're. So the cool thing about the natural terrain is we have a real world scale 40 by 40 kilometer terrain that is mountains. So oh shit, Omni with the poem. Let's go. Thank you, bro. So we've got a chunk of Colorado from Google Height Maps data that is our current like play space as we're figuring out the things that we're doing. Intentional vague on purpose. But it's really fun to cruise around in that. It took me like 45 minutes to go around 3/4 of the perimeter when I was like testing player containment over a year ago at this point. So it's huge. It's way bigger than you would think. So if you imagine you're cruising around and then on one of the mountaintops, you see this like really tall tower, like the Wayland Tower, right? Off in the distance. You can actually go to that tower. And as you're, going over mountaintops, you keep going up higher and higher. And then you realize how big that tower is when you're there. So we were calling it the Burj Khalifa because it's basically the size of the Burj Khalifa. It's like, it's insanely big. So Yeah,
because we had that artist who had put the Burj Khalifa into like into our landscape just to show the scale one time, and then we were like, oh no, we should do that.
yeah, it's like literally the same size. Yo, thank you for the follow, Great Soul. Oh, that just hit our fucking 260 follower goal. Let's go. Thank you. We got to reset that shit now.
Marker placed. Marker placed.
But yeah, Stevie, if you join the Discord, I'd love to talk to you. Just, you know, I can tell you a lot more offline if you want. I just don't want to give away everything on a live stream and talk about all the stuff we're doing. I'm much happier just having like individual conversations and just kind of telling you the whole thing, you know? I just don't want it to be out there on the internet forever and have someone who doesn't know anything about it, like find it and get it spoiled before they even play the game or whatever, right? You see what I mean? But once we ship, which we're trying to ship this year, it's probably going to be end of the year at this point, just because it's difficult when you're not funded by a publisher. So we're going to ship the game, and after we ship the game, do a like devlog and break down everything, you know, and start releasing video content about that as we're like working on our next project. We've got about 5 projects that we're working on. Maybe 4 at this point, because I think we canned Sacred Geography, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe someday.
Yeah, but it wasn't cost effective, right?
Yeah, that's the challenge, is how to get the map data and pay for it.
So Sacred Geography is something that we showed early on, over a year ago, and that was like GeoGuessr, but in VR. And you're inside of the like Google Street View. Yeah. The problem is that every time you play, you have to like pay Google for that data. So that's where we like hit a weird spot of like, how do we monetize this in a way that we're not like losing money with every time someone plays it? Because that could just make us go out of business. So
how are
we're not sure.
I don't understand.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to know you too, Stevie. Yes, Queen Anne. Goal reached. Also, you said something, Queen Anne, that I did not pay attention to. Had a bit of trouble with the game investor route recently. I feel you there. Yes. You make games too, Queen Anne? Also, if you guys are new and you join the Discord and you want to share like what you're working on, we have a channel for that. The only thing we ask is that you only post once with your thing, but it's totally cool to share your stuff and plug your own things. We like that, and we like sharing, you know, we don't stream a ton, so it's cool sharing the love and like all of that. That's what we're into. If it's geodata, use OpenStreetMaps instead of Google. It's free. Oh, interesting, Omni. Okay.
They don't have an API for like the 360 photos, as far as I'm aware. They didn't at the time. Maybe they do now. I saw GeoGuessr talking about this recently because they obviously have to deal with this, and I know that for a long time they were effectively just breaking the Google terms of service and hoping that they could get away with it. And
Queen Anne, what are you working on if you want to talk about it? I'd love to hear about your publisher stuff and get any tips if you have any, because it's fucking bleak out there, dude. Like, good lord. Unless you know, like, John Xbox or John Sony, like, you're fucked, you know, or John Meta, right? We do have contacts at Meta, so that's good, but it's just still hard. I remember in the last pitch meeting we had with Meta, the person we were talking to was like, I have probably 150 games that I won't be able to greenlight for like publishing, but if you have anything XR, hit me up. And I was like, well, we don't want to fucking make XR, you know? Like, all right. But I also don't want to be like, let's make something just so we can get a funding for something we don't want to make, you know? Like, that sucks. It's not a good place, I think, in my mind. I do make games. My team and I are putting something out today, actually. That's very cool. What are you, like, what platforms are you on? And, you know, like, feel free, talk about your game. Talk about, like, if you stream or whatever, let us know. It's great to meet you. Also, if you don't want to talk about it, that's totally okay. We know Adder also makes games. There's a bunch of people in chat. Like Turning Cog makes games.
Oh fuck! I didn't mean to do
that. Turning Cog, he has to kidnap them because they're fighting for the bad guys, and he has to re-educate them so they fight for him as big boss. So he sends them over to his oil rig offshore base, and then they become soldiers for the cause.
They put him in the Clockwork Orange chair for a little bit, you know.
Yep. I think what they call that nowadays is TikTok. It's just on a phone, and you just willfully put that shit in your brain.
Dude, don't shoot my D-horse. What are you doing, bro? He's an innocent horse. Leave him alone.
Hi, Adder. Yeah, Adder's really cool. Adder's trailer drop soon. Yes, bro. I was gonna say Adder's got a trailer that's coming soon. Queen Anne says, it's good to meet you too. We're releasing an early prototype for testing. Nothing too finished, but it's a 2D puzzle platformer where you have to die to solve the puzzle. That's cool. It'll be on itch. Okay, cool. Yeah, man out here just flagging his pet. Tony is protecting D-Horse from the miscreants. Brightside says, nice, let's goo. I don't want to goo, bro. Excited to see what you're cooking. Yeah. Brightside also makes games. Silent Sonata and Slice and Dice. Yeah, Queen Anne, do you have like an... you were saying you're announcing today, so if you want to share something in Discord, like, please feel free. We don't allow links in the Twitch chat because that's how you get bots and stuff, and, you know, we don't want bots. Hyperon's live. What's up, dude? Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. You didn't hit us with the your little robot emojis this time. Turning Cog is just dressed like a bot. Oh yeah, definitely share links in Discord so we can wishlist your stuff, Queen Anne. Your people, you swear? There's the robot. Thank you, Hyperons. Yeah, Anna's a big puzzle game, cozy game player. Join up and share there. Yeah, absolutely. There's the Discord for you again, Queen Anne. Oh, fuck. Oh, it's an astronaut. My bad. It is totally an astronaut. You're right. I like astronauts. Space is cool as fuck. Oh, I need to read Omni's poem. I'm so sorry, Omni. Yo, this is a good one. 14 months, my badge held high, a loyal purple flame. Yet still they said, you are not subbed. A blow, a bit of shame. The emotes I spammed, the bits I tossed, all vanished in their doubt. But loyalty's not a flashing badge. It's what I'm all about. Yo, dude. Banger poem, Omni. I fucking love that, dude. That was amazing. Oh, nice. Your spaceman can ride rockets. That's sick, dude. Did you see Testa's latest video series on the spacesuit stuffs? Pretty dope. I don't even know what Tested is, man.
I think that's Adam Savage from Mythbusters.
Oh, okay. Omni, that was a really good poem.
Too bad ChatGPT wrote it.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, we converted Omni to a reader, so as a reader now, he might be able to write. Who knows? He can write other stuff, like a toilet.
These is his words.
Lies. Nah, dude, you're a reader now. Okay, I'll watch Tested. Jeez, guys, you're such bullies. Everyone's mad I don't know about Tested. Guys, don't forget, I'm 42. Well, in a couple months. But yeah, I'm 42, so YouTube's new for me. I'm not really a big YouTube guy. I like to read books and watch movies and stuff. It's peak nerdcore YouTube. All right. I like to play video games, read books, watch movies. I do watch TV sometimes, but it's like shit that I can turn on while I'm like playing a video game, like Slay the Spire or something turn-based. And it's usually like really corny shit, like Ghost Adventures. Sounds like I love Tested then. Okay, I'm the target demographic. Okay, nah, I don't know if I want to get too much hate. I don't know how I feel about Mythbusters.
I was gonna say, like, I don't, I've watched a bunch of Tested for sure, but I don't think it's that good. Like,
Shit!
And I don't know if Vince will like it, to be honest.
They're coming for us. Tony, be careful.
No, like, I really appreciate Adam Savage as a person, and I really, really, really like Mythbusters, and I watch the reruns and stuff, but just some of the Tested videos are really boring. Sometimes it's like literally just Adam Savage set a camera up in his workshop and like sanded a piece of wood and talked for 20 minutes, and they post that as a video. And that's fine, but
how long do you guys think it would take for me to go from Tested to like Red Pill Manosphere YouTube?
It's the opposite direction for sure.
It's the opposite direction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Mythbusters. Okay. Well, Tony knows me really well, and he knows that I'm really picky with shit, so.
Yeah.
Nerdy science shit with a focus on sci-fi movie props and stuff and prop making. I could be into that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Vince just doesn't watch people like sit and make stuff usually, though.
Yeah.
Style. I'll just tell you guys right now.
Well, okay, wait. There's one caveat. Vice Grip Garage. I love that shit. And that's just a dude working on like a 30-year-old rusted car that has, or 30-year-old is wrong. Like sometimes like 50-year-old car that's been sitting for 30 years, and I'll watch that dude work on cars. That shit is great. Adder, I assume you know about Vice Grip Garage? Because if you don't, bro, where have you been? Been watching too much Adam LZ. I also do know that most of the good car content on the internet is on Instagram, and I don't have an Instagram, so I don't look at it. Oh, I think I've seen Stay Tuned. He's the guy. Oh my God, what's his last name? Yeah, he used to be on like Hot Rod TV or whatever. Oh, thank you, Queen Anne. Oh yeah, every Vice Grip Garage, dude. Derek Beery is. I love listening to that guy talk nonsense and just like work on a car. And every single time he's like, we got to get some new oil here. And I got this Shell Rotella heavy diesel oil. He puts it in every goddamn motor. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen. And then he's like, it's got all the vitamins and dinosaurs that these old engines need. Drink up, little buddy. Yeah, absolutely, Queen Anne. Thank you so much. X-Pro Drifter, skate dude turned backyard car builder with good production quality. Okay, stay tuned. All right, I'll check it out. Tony Angelo, thank you. Yes, Tony Angelo. Yep. Oh, you drove with him in New Jersey? Dude, that's sick, bro. Man, you know so many famous people, Adder. Yeah, you're welcome, Brightside. You getting out of here, bro? You gotta go start the beat challenge.
That's not for a while.
It is, yeah. OG English Town guy? Hell yeah. Yeah, well, I think it's time for us to wrap up. We ran over a little bit, but that's because all you wonderful people came in here. Thanks to Stevie Ray. Thank you so much. It is the ending screen, Brightside. You called it. You knew it was coming. Tony's ready. We got to go eat some food. I got to go play Schedule 1 with Sparkle Loser. Yeah, I will definitely check out. Stay tuned. I want to say, Adder, send me a link to like the one that you think is the dopest video if you can. Otherwise, I'll just go check it out at some point. S1, what a game. Yes. Hit me if you're playing schedule one later. Yeah, definitely, Omni. I got to go check out what Sparkle's doing, but we've expanded. I think we're kind of like probably through the mid game. We're kind of approaching the late game at this point. Yeah, sell the virtual things. Absolutely, bro. I can like task you and you know, you'll see. You'll see. We are going to play later. If you guys like music production, check out Brightside Movement. If you're unfamiliar, let me hit them with the shout out. Brightside does a music production challenge tonight, starting in probably about an hour and a half. They have very specific constraints, but you get about 30 minutes to make a song. It's cool as shit. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen because I don't know anything about music, and it's very, very cool and fun. There's the one, Hyperons. That's the one I was looking for. This little wiggly guy. 26 Pilot. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, check out Brightside. I'll probably be checking them out later tonight while I'm playing Schedule 1. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you for the raid. Lovely meeting all you guys. It is still
everybody.
Have a good weekend. We'll see you guys next week. We'll be back on Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. to noon Mountain Time. Have a good night. Have a good weekend.
See you guys later.